Zelensky's plan to devastate Ukraine, October 21st, 2024, Monday. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu are both displaying maneuvers to maximize their advantage from the upcoming U.S. elections. For this purpose, Zelensky has announced a victory plan. Comprising 5 points and 3 secret annexes, the plan is not a victory plan in its essence, but rather a plan to devastate Ukraine, plan to suppress peace initiatives. Zelensky's announcement of this plan is not solely aimed at benefiting from the upcoming U.S. elections. It also responds to the rising voices in Europe calling for a peace table to be established. While those voices grow louder, Zelensky reveals a victory plan, indicating that the US and the UK intend to continue their long war until the last Ukrainian strategy, thereby aiming to render peace calls futile. The 5-point plan. Zelensky's victory plan consists of the following 5 points. NATO membership, unconditional invitation for Ukraine to join NATO. Defense, increased supply of weapons to bring the war to Moscow's doorstep, along with the removal of all restrictions on the use of provided weapons. Joint defense agreements with allies. Deterrence, establishing a non-nuclear strategic deterrence package in Ukraine. Strategic economic potential, special agreements for the joint use of critical Ukrainian minerals such as lithium and titanium with the US and the EU, and for energy production. Post-war period, Ukraine will play a critical role in Europe's security post-war. Ukraine will protect Europe with an army ready for war at any moment. Ukrainian troops could replace some US forces in Europe. Zelensky is handing over his country. As can be seen from the points, this plan is not a victory plan, but a plan to prolong the war, to push NATO into direct conflict with Russia, leading the Ukrainian people into disaster, and ultimately a plan to devastate Ukraine. Moreover, Zelensky is directly handing Ukraine over to the US and the EU with this plan. He is marketing Ukraine's valuable minerals and natural resources to Washington and Brussels. According to reports in the media regarding the secret annexes, he is going beyond merely marketing and is giving management and ownership to Western countries, aiming to make Ukrainians the gendarmerie and guardians of wealthy Europe. Zelensky's nuclear blackmail. Zelensky's stance of directly pushing NATO into war with Russia will certainly not gain approval from many countries, especially NATO member Hungary. However, it does create an area of foreign policy for the Macron administration, which is constrained internally. Indeed, France's Minister for European Affairs, Benjamin Haddad, stated in an interview with the Parisian newspaper that France is trying to convince its partners for Ukraine's invitation to NATO. The most alarming aspect is that Zelensky has also resorted to blackmailing Europeans. He stated that if Ukraine is not admitted to NATO, they will develop nuclear weapons. List of leaders who devastate their countries. As a result, if this plan is implemented, it will serve as an example in the 21st century of how a head of state can devastate their people and country for the interests of imperialist nations. However, it will also be a testament to how a people have learned nothing from the examples of the 20th century.